Anyone ever hear the saying, a leopard never changes his spots? I think it's a leopard never changes his spots or his colour. Well, that's Don King. That is Don King in a nutshell, right? Because apparently tomorrow he's set to put on his first official Don King production card in 5 years. It was set to have Shumanov defending his world title. It was set to have Bryan Stiverne versus Christopher Lovejoy. And it was set to be main evented by Trevor Bryan versus Manuel Charr for the WBA regular heavyweight title. Well, the card is still listed on BoxRec. Lovejoy is off it, Shumanov is off it, and Charr is off it. Apparently the issue with Charr was he was able to obtain a visa, but a load of things got in the way of that. We seen Manuel Charr have an Instagram post a couple of weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, where he was saying that, look, he's been trying to do X, Y, and Z. He said, Don King, look, Don King, for someone to do business with Don King these days, it really is ridiculous. It really is crazy to think. I mean, Don King has been pretty irrelevant for the last 10, maybe more. Probably since the mid-2000s, we've not really seen much of Don King cards. See the odd one here and there, but very few. They've been, Dwayne. And Don King is, close to 90 now? And, he's still trying to be around, but his history is, when you hear guys like Vanis Martirosyan sign with Don King and then they come out and say it was the worst decision they ever made. He got the Golovkin fight off the back of that, but he's not fought in nearly 3 years. And from what I can gather, the financial situation for him is not great. I think he's alluded to that a few times. Put it like this, right? If you were looking at a job, right? Let's use this, because I used this example. I've done this once, right? About 2 years ago, right? I was pretty unhappy in a job, so I went for an interview in a different job, right? And done the interview, got it. They told me, yo, you can have this job, give your week's notice and you can start. And I remember thinking, I didn't do enough. I looked up this company in terms of, what they deal with, but I didn't do anything about looking up in terms of what they're like to their staff. So I go on, I think there's a website called Glassdoor, there's another one called Indeed, and they give you kind of little hints of this company. And every single person was saying the same: scumbags, don't work for them, this, that, and the other. They treat their staff, and it's an English company, but literally everything was bad. Everything was bad, and I was like, ugh, nope. If everyone is, and see, you can always say disgruntled, but every single comment was the exact same, and there was different parts of UK and Ireland were saying it, so I was like, yeah, the hell with that. So when you look at someone's history, and with Don King, I mean, there's so much history of Don King. I mean, it goes back as far as the 70s. I mean, there's no excuse to be signing with him. There's no excuse to be saying, I signed with Don King and this, that, and the other. If you know someone's track history, like Don King, you could say, well, he's in his 80s. Don King is such a scumbag, such a swine. He'd never change, no matter what. And I suspect from the outset, his whole plan was to get Trevor Bryan versus Bryan Stiverne. I'm sure he was hoping, because if you go on BoxRec, that's what's listed, right? And I suspect that it's just a non-title 12-rounder, okay? Or maybe it's for the intro, I don't know. But I suspect his whole plan all along was to try and get Manuel Charr stripped and have Stiverne versus Trevor Bryan. Or possibly Stiverne, or possibly, maybe bin one of the other guys, maybe bin Stiverne and get it for Lovejoy. But I reckon he wanted to have an in-house fight for that regular title. I mean, the regular title is so obscure at this stage. Charr's been champion for 3 years. He's never defended it once. That regular title means nothing. It's just a tricket title at this stage. Seriously, if you have a title for 3 years, you've not had one fight, not one defense, not one mandatory, they've never called a mandatory, that kind of says it all, I'm looking here, and I'm on Boxing Scene actually here, and it's just, all it is just the same old. This fight is set to take place tomorrow. I can't see it. If you go on the website of that hotel, they don't even have, Florida as a state is pretty much back to normal, right? You can go and look up that, you can see the pictures of it. There's events happening in the state of Florida, in other regions of Florida, so you have the Canelo fight coming up, etc., etc. The hotel where this is being staged, they have events listed, okay? They have singers coming, obviously not tomorrow, but they've singers coming in the not too distant future. They've events on, because you go on the website, you can hit book event and this, that, and the other. They've nothing listed for this event, and it's happening tomorrow, right? So That's not a good sign. That ain't a good sign. There's not even any hint on the website of this event happening. So that's not a good sign. In a strange way, when this was first announced and we saw the card first announced, I was kind of actually saying if this was televised, I'd watch it. Just because there's entertainment at all levels of boxing. There is. Like, between, put it like this, you could have two guys who would never even win an Irish title, but yet you put them in the ring together and they give you an entertaining fight. There's entertainment at all levels of boxing. So I was actually looking forward to this card. But it's Don King. It's Don King out in the 2020s. Again, you wouldn't trust, you'd have better luck, asking a vegan how to marinate a steak and, not getting a slap than you would, Don King card going ahead in 2021. That's seriously what we're looking at with Don King these days. So it's unfortunate. I mean, like, it's the fighters I'm thinking of. Like, I mean, what you sign with Don King, you're off the shelf for 2 years. Like, Trevor Bryan's not fought in nearly 3 years. Stiverne, when did he fight last? When he got knocked out by Joyce, that was 2 years ago. So you see long stretches of inactivity with these fighters. So that is what that is. But Don King, man, he ain't changing anytime soon. So it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. Were you looking forward to this card, and do you think, of course, it's Don King? He ain't going to change. It is the way it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Go live about 5 o'clock today. Go live about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock today, because I'll try and do a live today. Try and get it in at a decent time for all you guys. I'll talk to you then, lads. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. #GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Lads, I'll talk to you. Peace.